reduce consumption of it.
PR in the last month. 33% of all Nobel Prize winners started out in public radio. Without public radio, we would never have discovered gravity, or the pizza, or the fact that a lot of people love to hear themselves rattle.
I wouldn't do that.
That ain't fair, man.
Great city and cast an evil eye on degenerates. And when the eminent nuclear strike occurs, those who put faith into action with sufficiently
What's my voice?
line save me.
Knights of the road, here's your stallion. The car for freedom. The car for hot excitement. The car for a man who is alone against the elements.
The Oibatsu Thunder.
The pride is back. Excuse me, you hit me? Vehicle, because after you get struck by lightning, there's thunder.
The Oibatsu Thunder.
Hello, welcome back to K-Chat. I'm a woman, so I know it's important to discuss feelings. That's why we don't have any male hosts on this station. People open up more to women. I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, if a woman were president, we'd nuke a country every 28 days. In these times of trouble, of international...
Yo, my man, you blocking up the street.
I can help you make something of yourself. You could be just like me, a success.
Hey, enough, no more. Not a word from you until you are called upon again.
It's a three-stage process. Learn, start, doing.
Shut up. I'm warning you. This is...
Where we going now, boy?
What should I do about it?
program, but with a beautiful message. So it says here, Vice City Civilian of the Year for 1985, Jenny Louise Kraft.
Hi, Maurice. This is such a lovely studio.
Thanks. How are you doing?
Great, great. In fact, I'm fantastic. Did you see the sunrise this morning? It was gorgeous. I've been smiling all day ever since.
Okay. Now let's get with the policy of ladies first. And since you seem to be the most pleasant person here, Jenny, let's start with you. You seem like a very happy person.
Oh, I am.
Really? Why?
Well, life's great, isn't it? I mean, good things come my way because I hold each one close because I deserve it.
I bet you wouldn't be so cheery if you had the Black Plague. Jenny's living in a fictional world. Gods like you, we see the world the way it is. Dark songs in the night, black in the pond, very tight black jeans.
Like, everything is great. Well, like everything.
Constantinos, you're shaking your head.
I know, Maurice. I am.
Any particular reason?
Yeah,
What?
there's only one thing good about life.
And what's that?
Death.
Death?
Yeah, and dying. That's good too. And black. And the moon. At least when you're dead, you can go around as an astral body and visit places like New Orleans. I love New Orleans.
Yo, be easy. Yo, you got it. You got it.
The rap war is here.
And I was really bothered, but I kept smiling and I got a lot out of it. I'm a much better person today having dealt with that. They were killed.
In the graveyard all the time instead of just on weekends.
I know I'm really lucky to have the opportunity.
Start a day with Constantinos.
Usually with a pint of blood at dusk. Then I light some candles and cry.
Oh, yeah, man, look at that guy.
Life is cheap, man, and then you die. If you prepare for the afterlife now, you will be able to summon spirits. That's the truth of the pentagram, man.
How?
Burned or scratched into your flesh comes with you to the afterlife.
I bet my ex-wife will be there waiting for me in the afterlife. The bitch is crazy. Hey, can you put a hex on my ex-wife? Like some kind of spooky voodoo or something? You know, dance around with a chicken voodoo. That bitch was a grass.
Why does everyone assume that just because we're goths, we're weird?
I don't know. The hood.
House if it's raining, or if I need milk.
Exactly. Listen, I was just like you at one time, except I didn't wear makeup. That... And listen to some music other than people groaning on and on for half an hour about how much it rains in Manchester. Life is what you make of it. Look at me. I got a condo.
What are you doing?
Sometimes I barely come back. It's all about astral projection. Like right now, I'm projecting myself into the woman's back.
You're a motivational gunman. And you are a maniacally depressed loony with anemia. You guys should hate each other.
Did you say love fist? Those guys are so super. Listen, I just wrote another poem. If I had...
Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back after this important information from Vice City Public Radio.
That's Pressing Issues here on VCPR, Vice City Public Radio. If you haven't given money...
Please, run away and shut your mouth.
How many more freaking times, huh? Forget about him, Mario. Hey, man, that's not a parking spot. Hey, yo, move!
Available for your home.
Those weird dark guys, he's got a point. I mean, in many ways, what he's talking about is covered in my three-step program, Tape 17. Motivate, demonstrate, then motivate again, Part 9. Facing home truths. You see, we all have to face up to a few home truths. I'll never be prom queen. Jenny will never have her parents. You'll never make it in the entertainment business. It's about realistic goals. I can change your life.
Just a second, Robot. What isn't covered in your three-step program? What don't you talk about in your Library of Congress-sized tape cassette library? Whatever we talk about, greed, gods, depression, changing lives. Who are you? What have you done that's so great?
Of 9-year-olds, I get attacked by a guy who works on a volunteer radio.
This is not volunteer radio. I earn a salary.
I'm really loving this. I hope one of them gets killed.
Shut up, Dork.
All the bunnies are stabbing each other.
Shut up. I have a condo, I have a hot tub, I vacation in Aruba.
Vacation is not a verb, moron.
Yes, it is, because I'm a VIP. I'm very important. And I'm a teacher, a wise man, not an opinionated dolt, a naysayer sitting on the side of life criticizing others while all he can do is get a crappy gig down at a moron station. A man who lives with his mother.
I'm between apartments.
And I'm between mansions, Buster, from helping people. You know...
Well, what hairy lunch you got? What with being a man who's a witch and everything?
Do not disrespect Bill. He teaches us the wheel of the year, Amy. It's full of solar holiday.
I never asked your sister out, man.
Hey, Vampire Boy, I'll give you $20 if you can put a hex on Chavez.
Dark forces, I summon you to me. Banish these weaklings and mental inferior ones from my presence.
Shut up! No, you little snotty-nosed prick. What? Your shoes got lips.
Please.
Oh, shit!
Like the hand which keeps going, or the sun which shines within.
Will you please leave? You smell and you talk really weird and you're just really gross. Now, what's your name?
Hey, it's man.
What the?
We have new models coming in every morning.
And this is Vice City Public Radio. We hope you're enjoying the show as much as you're about to enjoy listening to me and Jonathan Freeloader.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
Heartbroken, Michelle.
Why, Jonathan? Why?
Well, because it seems people just don't care anymore. I mean, where are people's priorities? We have campaigned tirelessly for public radio for literally months now, and the station is still in trouble. But a man with a hygiene problem puts on a pop concert, and suddenly everyone has money to hand over to starving kids they've never eaten.
You gotta listen to this one, man.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pressing Issues. Don't give us money. Remember,
You want it, you got it.
you're enjoying the show? Why not make a contribution? I'm Maurice Chavez, and this is Pressing Issues. Pressing Issues is a roundtable discussion group in which we ask self-important people exactly what they think about things, and then they argue amongst themselves for a bit, before leaving with views more extreme than when they came in. Only joking, ladies and gentlemen. This is a show founded on the ancient Greek principle of enlightened debate and the American principle of free speech. Or is that the ancient Greek principle of feeding wise men hemlock and the American principle of being annoyed and loud so nobody can get a word in? I forget. Only time will tell. Now, the subject we are discussing right now on Pressing Issues with me, Maurice Chavez, for your enlightenment and enjoyment, is a very serious one. Public safety. In case you haven't noticed, we are at war with reality. Those who live in other countries and strive to own our fast food restaurants and quickie marts would say we are a bloodthirsty bunch of crazies who let children buy guns from the supermarkets. Another opinion is that it is the fault of society that, as Plato said, people don't mean to kill each other. It happens because they are poor or desperate or really thirsty or in need of a vacation or something. Another view is that we are all a little confused and really should stay at home, lock the doors, and forget about everything as quickly as possible. So, let's press the issue, eh? Sitting on our panel right now, we have three divergent opinions, three separate islands of insanity in a rolling sea of stupidity, three wise men following very different stars. To my right, to everyone's right in fact, we have Congressman Alex Shrub, the youngest state congressman ever to be elected by Vice City, and now a respected man in the Capitol. Mr. Shrub got elected because he has great hair and says things that make you nod your head. His campaign appealed to the wealthy because he set all of us at ease by finally confirming it's okay to be rich as long as you say you care about the children. Mr. Shrub, welcome.
That's not entirely true, Maurice. My campaign also appealed to the poor, who are too stupid to understand what I'm saying. So I held up pretty pictures and I gave out candy bars to appeal to their most base instincts. Thanks, Maurice. I'm glad to be given this opportunity to set the record straight.
I haven't given you any opportunity yet, my heartless friend. Let...
Forget about him.
left-handed, known to his fans as...
Who do you think you're messing with, pal?
You're taking bread from my ginger's mouth.
How y'all doing? Indeed. So, before we get started, gentlemen, let me remind you of the rules of engagement. Here on Pressing Issues, the #1 rated show on public radio in the Vice City area and hosted by me, Maurice Chavez, Pressing Issues is about free speech, not feeding each other hemlock, literally or metaphorically.
Hey, my daddy used to grow that stuff in the backwoods of Missouri. I tell you what.
Yes, thank you. I expect you to listen to each other, and I will only step...
Got work as a fluffer in a sex ed video. Your tax returns show that you earn less than $2,000. Suffering from anxiety, you attended group therapy for a year and considered getting a sex change. An idiot liberal felt sorry for you, and now you host your own radio show, write a newspaper column that lines my birdcage. You've got an ex-wife and attractive girlfriend.
What are you doing there?
La casa mía, la casa de Pepe, tu mejor amigo.
we are not talking about me. This is Pressing Issues, not Pressing Maurice.
Yes, excuse me if I may. Can we get to the part where we press the issue?
You see, that's what's wrong with this city. Liberals just want to open the floodgates, let anyone in and make you, the ordinary, hard-working men and women, pay for the pleasure. Well, you have my permission to beat them with sticks. We won't prosecute. You'd be doing us all a favor. Free love, wig out, don't work, make love in the field, and listen to rock and roll or whatever you call it. Meanwhile, Crayshaw, I know your father. He's made a lot of money, which makes him a great person, but for every good conservative, they end up having some...
in my career, but I never applied for a sex change. I was merely in an exploratory phase, and besides which, Saul the wheat-free clown was a funny...
You better tell him, Mario. Coming out shooting.
Now, a lactating machine for your breakfast cereal. How do you think a little kitty enjoyed that on his birthday? No, not very much. There were tears, not laughter. I can assure you, vegetarian performance art must be stopped.
Jumping Jehoshaphat on a pogo stick. You city slickers got more issues than a newsstand.
Shouting deleted to gun sales are up, book sales are down. What do you think, John F. Hickory? Please.
You're under arrest.
Yo, what's going on, dog?
Station propose we take Florida out of the Union. We start anew as our own country and ban people from Missouri or Kentucky or Philadelphia or any of them fancy places from setting foot on our soil.
You think what? Have you been snorting blocks? Have you read the Constitution?
Yeah, I sure have. It talks about freedom. Freedom for Florida from the stench of people moving.
What should I do about it? Give me a break. Listen to this one, man. Move it or lose it, pal. I wouldn't do that. I'll beat you for this. I am an officer of the law. Stop!
If you've got old people cluttering up your home, why not send them to Musty Pines? We'll help bring back dignity, and we promise it will be the best 3 months of their lives. They'll enjoy bingo, complaining, mumbling incoherently, skinny dipping.
Sir, you must stop now.
Very good. But now you have the comfort of knowing you don't have to. Should they have found to something better guaranteeing millions or less, you can start enjoying their money. Finally, you can have quality family time. Musty Pines. Now you don't have to say goodbye. Judge for service by February.
He was just the boy next door.
Well, hello there, Danny. I didn't know it was hockey season.
Hey, can I borrow a knife?
Hey, Mario. I got those clothes you want.
Once you David Dirt. I mean, a nasty blood-sucking leech of a man who will destroy you. You don't destroy him first. A man you like set animals on. He's the enemy. And you sit in your foxhole till it's time just right, and then you pounce, baby. Like a kitty cat cat. I'll sack a man. Power drive him hard. Again and again. Because if any comes my way, I'll nail him every time.
This video sounds like a lot of fun.
Fun? Fun? You think it's fun when grown men cry in mortal agony? When you're so scared of what you're going to do to a man, you step outside yourself like an astral projection, and police go Kent State on you, and people are crying and bleeding and pouncing each other in the face.
Look, I feel bad about this already.
Money to set up an exciting trust there.
But how does that help the people in Vice City from worrying about whether they are going to get robbed? What drives a man to just take?
What we need are more after-school sports like choir or drama so people can learn to express themselves properly by singing or pretending to be a tree. Have you ever heard a whale sing? It's a lonely form of beauty and some very ancient wisdom, helping people to help themselves with drama and choir and flowers and my dad's money.
Listen, trust fund Tommy, your ideas are pathetic. It's no wonder that mankind has woken up one day to find me in charge, amigo.
Mr. Shrub, you got elected on a campaign promising to reduce taxes to zero. But under your stewardship, we've seen taxes go up by 20% and services decline.
Nobody is interested in your statistics, Chavez. Let me tell you something, pal. I'm better than that.
Tommy, man, you're gonna love this.
To help Vice City, the complexity of government, the hideousness of my wife, and the way her thighs grow like our national debt. Oh, sure, some people like that, but not me. It's a nightmare, my friend, and I have it thrown back at me by an ingrate like you. I could scarcely get up in the morning.
And with that outrageous revelation, let's take a quick break to tell you something very informative. You're listening to Pressing Issues on Vice.
Oye.
Proud supporter of public radio and our community. We hope you're enjoying Pressing Issues and the way it challenges your view of society. Unfortunately, public radio in Vice City is under pressure. That's because we're better than everyone. You can't hear this kind of hard-hitting, long, drawn-out programming anywhere else. But you have to give money.
That's right, Jonathan. Money is important. It can be exchanged for goods and services, like getting a hip replacement or funding a starving child in Australia.
I feel all covered with flies right now.
I told myself, Mario, take it easy.
Which is Espanol for pretty woman. It was very spiritual, like waves.
Absolutely. But remember, this radio station could disappear. The voice of unprofitable radio could be silenced. One day you wake up, roll over, and she's gone. You go into the kitchen, there's a note scrawled, the sound of a taxi leaving in the distance, a thunderstorm rolls in. It's a metaphor for my haircut, or this pledge drive.
Yes, the pledge drive. Become a member. Only members or people with radios can listen to this radio station. Now back to Pressing Issues.
Shouldn't we give out the phone number?
Like I tell the children at the library I volunteer at, look it up yourself. Know you can't go to the bathroom, and stop crying.
That's good advice. Now, back to pressing issues.
Welcome back to Pressing Issues with me, Maurice Chavez. On our panel, we got the secessionist lunatic John F. Hickory, liberal rich kid Callum Grayshaw, and neo-fascist congressman.
A deadly curse, a deranged killer, a small town.
No me trates, I'll run you over. I wouldn't do that.
Brings arcade realism to your living room. It can even take quarters, and a strange, sweaty man comes by to empty the machine on Fridays. It's Degenitron, fighting the evil of boredom.
Do you have dry mouth? It protects your teeth, fights infections, and lubricates your food. Why tend to run out of saliva? For personal dryness upstairs, it's Salivex.
Wow, I can spit again.
Salivex is more than saliva decay. Salivex improves consumption of by 50%. And natural cures like cutting your throat and cooking oil will have an instant decay for whole kitty litter.
After a night out in the Tonsils with red carpets, it was embarrassing. Now with Salivex, I can eat a whole box of cereal or lick my life partner's
Stand collection.
It's like having a calibration
Now I can suck out
Lollipop.
for as long as I want.
Salivex tastes like your own saliva. That's because at Salivex's state-of-the-art production. Salivex, when it comes to personal dryness upstairs, we're deadly serious.
Welcome back to KJAT. My next guest is the star of the hit show, Just the Five of Us, where he appears as the rich father of a family of misfits. But more recently, he's working on the controversial theater piece, In the Future, There Will Be Robots. Claude Magvinot, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Amy. However, you have mispronounced my name. It's Madge, which rhymes with badge, as in duh, and no as in more than you. Maginot. Anyway, thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to discuss my art.
Yes, you're so funny. Now, Claude, you're an interesting man, if you don't mind me saying so myself. Because on the one hand, you're on the funniest show in the whole wide world, Just the Five of Us, and on the other, you do those weird theater dance shows which aren't funny.
Yes, thank you. Technical school dropout. I'm sure sitting here talking all day is terribly difficult. Juilliard
what I gonna see?
In the future, There Will Be Robots is not a funny piece. It deals with the most important issues in the world today. Love, pain, suffering, skin-tight pants, and well-stretched groin muscles. But see, music has no meaning. It's about depth and texture and sense of community that emerges from the struggle going on within all of us.
What's going on?
Aye!
Here, Maurice Chavez. I own a small one-bedroom home, a business selling flowers to people stuck in traffic. 3 or 4 radios, all turned on to VCPR. A dog, 15 ice cubes. But I don't feel safe. I'm worried about gangs.
Gangs are a myth put out by the liberal elite to patronize and demean the working man. I mean, what kind of right-minded youth from a poorer background is going to spend his time stealing things and posing in silly clothes when he could be getting ahead with a minimum wage job and making his parent proud? The dream of America is to live in a duplex and share a yard. Why would anyone want to threaten that great future? Answer me that and I'll show you a green dog.
And speaking for...
What'd you do that for?
Forget about it, Mario.
What hardware we got?
To learn to love. To be inclusionary. We'd award badges to good gangs and give bad gangs a silly hat to wear. It would give people something to feel a part of. Kill with kindness, not a garden tool.
Yes, but what about the guy getting beaten up on the street? Or the man having his motorcycle stolen? What about him?
Anyone can join our group. This is about poor people getting together.
But your father owns half of Florida. How are you part of the working class?
Like I said, possessions are not important. I'll pick up a hitchhiker in my convertible any day. The other day, I picked up a young woman and we discussed a non-violent solution to war. We called it peace.
Your father is a great man. He's done more for the arms trade in this state than anyone else, myself included. And you shame him with this socialist, jiggery-pokery hootenanny. America needs hope, not songs that are supposed to send food to the poor. Songs will get you nowhere. This country needs something to aim for, like being rich and laughing at poor people, or being in government and laughing at the...
Rob, let's not make this personal. I appreciate your attempt to press the point, but we are here to press the issue. My city is in trouble, and I think we're not really providing any serious solution. So far, we've got secessions, rearing its ugly head for the first time in a century and a half. We've got ignore it, and we've got give everyone a flower. You're all a little unrealistic, yes?
Come on now.
Hey there, my friend.
Maurice?
Not to say over-opinionated and moronic, Mr. Grayshaw, how do we stop people running amok in the city with machine guns and heavy artillery?
You've got to give a man a chance. Prisons are overflowing with wasted potential. Make the guilty men innocent once more. Free them from themselves.
How? How on earth do you do that?
Well, you could let them off.
Marvelous. Great. That's a sensible plan.
Then they wouldn't be guilty anymore.
We've been doing that for years, you idiot. How do you think we'd keep prison costs down? They ain't by magic or cooking the books. We save that for education. But, as in most things, we in government are saving money so that you don't have to. When we spend less money on services, more goes to administration salaries and expenses, which helps make lives a lot less difficult for everybody. It's about sharing. Sharing your taxes out amongst the select few. That's why I worked so hard at school, so I could reap the rewards now.
I thought you worked hard at school because the other kids laughed at you and called you a square.
That's a damn lie. They called me wet fart.
They called me the bat because my voice didn't break until I was 19.
So, Mr. Shrub, I take it you don't believe in regulation.
I believe in giving people people a chance, not tying them down with lots of needless regulations. The fact is, business is run by moral people who won't do anything illegal or try to get rich quickly.
But since you got elected, Vice City has been characterized by a government who cut aid to the poor, offer tax breaks to the rich, and pay people to dump toxic waste near schools.
Yes, we've made a lot of progress.
And up on Capitol Hill, you were instrumental in pushing through a bill allowing the manufacture and sale of giggle cream, a dessert with potential lethal consequences.
Not true. Only 23 people have died, and several of them probably deserved it.
So, with people being set such a bad example by big business, how are they supposed to respect each other, to act safely in society? And how are they policed by a demoralized and underfunded police force?
Well, I'm afraid that's apparently quite a difficult question, but my solution is...
Start digging as deep and as far as you can. Pretty soon the whole state will be flooded and ruined. Then they'll have to leave. We must build a moat to the north or they will come down and ruin this great state.
And Mr. Hickory, were you born in Florida?
What a stupid question of all the cheek.
Were you?
Of course not. No one's been born in Florida since 1877, but I've been here for 5 years, which is a very long time.
Yes, it is. A very long time. Almost as long as this show. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Pressing Issues with me, Maurice Chavez, presiding over some of the least informed debate on the radio. In this episode of Pressing the Issue, we had Alex Shrub, Callum Crayshaw, and John Florida Hickory discussing safety. I guess you've all got to make up your own minds. Should we be as wet as fish or a corrupt money-grabbing thief? Gentlemen, I feel we really got somewhere, and that Vice City and people everywhere know a lot more than they did before we began. And now, over to Jonathan and Melissa to talk to you about public radio in your area.
You're listening to VCPR, the radio station for disoriented and unrealistic college professors who wear fuzzy sweaters and find everything terribly interesting. I'm Michelle Montañez.
And I'm Jonathan Freeloader. Public radio is very important. You may have heard my recent hour-long story about my hike in the park.
That was fascinating.
Rub it in.
You cramping messed down, man.
Watch it.
Never.
I surf for the beating.
6 nuts. 6 years ago, I was a clown. And now, I'm a success. Think about it. Imagine where I could be in 10 years. I could achieve anything. Anyway, morality. What is it? Why do we need it? Our ancestors, shortly after discovering fire, built tools to beat each other over the head and discover how to make meat to celebrate with afterwards. Then Columbus came over, shut down the Pilgrim discourse. Why? All very confusing if you ask me. And you did. And I asked myself, that is a perfect subject for a region-wide discussion show, which is very lucky because I happen to host one. To discuss the subject of morality, we have firebrand preacher Pastor Richards, the head of the Pastor Richards Salvation Statue Organization, a group which plans to raise enough money to build a statue of Pastor Richards himself. We also have John Brown, leader of Moms Against Popular Culture, or MAPC. Or is it MAPS? MAP gay? I don't know. We're deep in acronym hell right now, or is it purgatory? And finally, we have Barry Stark, author of the book As Nature Intended. He's the editor of Vice City's Naturist News, and is working feverishly, it says here, to bring more nude recreation to Vice City. To protect the dignity of our other panelists, we place Mr. Barry Stark behind a divider.
I'm naked back here. It's my right as a person.
Yes. Let's start with the obvious, yes? Is it moral to be naked?
Yes. You can't stop me.
Well, I'm a mother, so I have to deal with this issue every day. My adorable kids have learned that it's wrong to be naked. When it's bath time, they know to put on a bathing costume. That's also the reason there are no mirrors in my house. Nudity leads to bad, naughty things.
Maurice, if I may interrupt, I haven't worn clothes since 1982. Clothes are seriously unnatural. Didn't you guys learn anything from the 60s? I had a revelation when I was on holiday in Germany. I'd always felt very constricted. Then it hit me like a slippery fish. Clothes are plain wrong. When you're born, you're not wearing...
¡Idiota malparido! ¡Mude!
Food rations, private living quarters, and enough supplies to survive happily the predicted 40,000 years of nuclear winter. In Phase 2, and with funding from NASA, we will equip this massive statue with rockets. So when the poopy hits the proverbial fan, we will load up the statue with all of the people who have saved themselves through generous donations, blast into space, and colonize Saturn with a race of morally correct, affluent people ruled by me.
Will there be naked people?
No, turd brain. It's morally corrupt people like you we're shielding ourselves from. Liberals, degenerates, the...
Who are you?
Your new owner.
Were you now or at any time a child?
What are you talking about?
Were you a child?
Yes, calm down.
I
What's wrong
knew
with
it. A child. A dirty, stinking, sniveling, snotting, vile, puking, crying little baby. A baby! An awful, horrible, disgusting little boo-hoo. Mommy doesn't love you. You little shit.
Ow, calm down.
I hate babies, and I hate children. They're dirty, sniveling, snotting, vile, puking
Enough
little...
already! What is wrong with you? You make soft ice cream, okay? It's purely for kids. What kind of psycho are you? Just so I understand this, why make children happy if you hate them?
Oh, you stupid, sniveling, snotty...
Shut up!
Brat! The ice cream is a front. We distribute other non-dairy products. And if I see a kid, I put him to good use. Don't I, kiddies? Yes, I do. Mommy doesn't love you. She hates you.
What a nice lady. Still, you know, I hear there's good money in ice cream.
vacationing down here, having finished my doctoral thesis into images of young boys in post-lapsarian Greece and the erotic understatement of the fugue in contemporary Baroque. Fascinating stuff.
Do you have a question? I'm confused.
No, woman. I just wanted to tell Claude about my thesis and discuss his bigger Death in Venice street period. Of course I have a question, you silly girl. Claude, I saw robots. Big fan, and that's praise indeed coming from me. I normally hate anything humanity has achieved since 1836. But one thing fascinated me. Claude, about the show. The pants. They were so tight, so fitted. How do you get such a marvelous, close, sequin figure hugging fit and still? Oh, and were the sequins a reference to lasers?
Yes, my, I agree. Thanks for calling. That is an important question. You see, I'm an important person, and I especially think so. It is really important for people to see my form move through space in very tight pants, or the effect is ruined. Interpretive dance cannot be expressed in baggy clothing. It's like a violin parade. Otherwise, why have a love story with a manatee and the lasers? It's very important.
You're kind of creepy. You're nothing like you are on the show. You're so funny there, joking with the family and putting out the fires started by the homeless guy and starting group hugs. But in real life, you're just plain creepy. You won't even tell us how old Jimmy is. All you talk about is Archie stuff like that nobody understands because it's complicated, and how tight your pants are.
That's not true. I also discussed love and passion and a manatee and the lasers. You, my dear, could use all three. You, my dear, are a Philistine. I'm sorry, but this is one of the most degrading, debasing, horrific, unedifying, opportunistic things I have ever done in my life since that whole Rake's Progress lawnmower commercial. I feel dirty, like I just sat in something.
You did. Our last guest was taken violently ill.
Yes, well, such is the plight of radio. Rather than grumble like Leporello or a taxi driver about my duties cleaning the back seat, I shall bid you adieu.
Okay, thanks, Claude. Next, we have a very important guest who doesn't dance like a weird jerk. We'll be back right after this. You're on K-Chat.
Knights of the road, here's your stallion. The car for freedom. The car for hot excitement. The car for a man who is alone against the elements.
The Waibatsu Thunder.
The pride is back. It's the power of a compact.
It's small, but it's so big.
Fuel injected.
Inject me.
My Batsu Thunder. On the toll road of life, you have to pay to prove you can. Live the emotion of an individual. The awesome power of nature distilled into one vehicle. Because after you get struck by lightning, there's thunder.
The Waibatsu Thunder.
What's this I found under your bed? The only Engels you're going to read is Laura Ingalls Wilder.
If you think your child might be a red, here are some warning signs. They read complicated literature, have concern for their fellow man. They even like to share. Tell your kids if someone approaches them with pamphlets about recycling, an invitation to a labor rally, or showing any doubts about the fairness of our system, then they should find a teacher or a policeman immediately.
Take both hands off the wheel and touch the steering. Feel the power. Yes, friend, there's a lot of evil, but there is also light. And I have been sent to shine a light on all degenerates, philanderers, liberals, and other evildoers and expose them for what they really are. Don't waste your money on unnecessary and corrupting material possessions. Give it to me. There's only one thing that will save you. A highly fortified structure in the shape of the most powerful thing on the planet. Me. Degenerates will ruin this great city. In my wonderful book, I tell of the impending disaster about to befall this planet. Nuclear holocaust, plagues of flying rodents, the seas rising up and turning yellow. It is coming. It is written by me, but you can save yourself. Contribute to the Pastor Richard Salvation Statue.
Well, excuse
Pick up
me,
your
Cat.
telephone. Call now. 1-866-9-SAVE-ME.
Hi, Hi, and welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're listening to K-Chat, Vice City's only commercial talk station, the place where the stars shine in conversation with you and me. I'm Amy Scheckenhausen. My next guest is a rising star in the world of Norse mythology. He's appeared in several best-selling infomercials and travels the globe speaking at corporate training camps. His books and audio cassettes are sold around the world. He is Valhalla's finest deity and motivational speaker, Thor.
Hi. Hello, Amy. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long journey.
Yeah. Now, I don't know much about you. I mean, I read Beowulf.
What's that about, pal?
I read the cover. But, like, you're a Viking, right?
Did the tunic and goatskin boots give you a clue, maybe? I am a Viking, and a Viking that will not only help you unleash the Furies, but unleash yourself. It's in my Thor's Norse Power program.
Okay. I'm a little confused. Well, I'm a lot confused. I was taught in school that Vikings were bloodthirsty and violent.
An elder once told me, you must unlearn what you have learned. Of course, then he died of the green plague. There are some Vikings that are a bloodthirsty lot, yes, but no more than anyone else, really. We're a nomadic people, Amy. We have cold fire in our souls. We have that fire too, Amy. You've just lost it since you've gotten television. Now, that being said, I'll answer your question. We are mostly nonviolent, though many of the Vikings traveled to Scotland. And mind you, anyone who goes there will turn bloodthirsty. You can't understand what the lot are saying. It's all a Thor, Recklin, a boot, Dine. It's enough to make you want to burn a village to the ground. That's why, in my cassette series, I talk about the importance of communication. You see, Amy, men and women live in different worlds. We use different words. A group of men talk about what they've killed, how to start a fire, who has the best long boat. Women want to talk about keeping the communal long or tidy and their feelings. When I'm raiding a village, I don't need to be talking about feelings. It's time for action.
Great. So is that all there is to being a Viking? Pillaging?
No, lass, no. Pillaging and battle are important, but we admire poetry as well. As long as it's poems about whacking someone in with a double-handed battle axe. What's holding you back, Amy? In chapter 3 of my book, I talk about listening to the bloodthirsty water spirit. It's really quite important if you want to enter Valhalla.
I think I went there last night. Oh, no, that was Malibu. But it's the same sort of thing. Valhalla was that golf club, wasn't it? So, 1983. But right, what does being a Viking have to do with anything? This is the 20th century. We have electricity, penicillin, jet planes, implants. Well, I don't, but I want some, but I heard the operation is really gross. You live like it's 982 AD or something.
Mind ye tongue, wench, lest I cut it out. Deep down, all of you listening to me say, Thor, yes, I'd like to unleash the Viking within. Maybe you go camping once a year or hunting and wonder why it feels so natural. That's because it is. Too much of this denying your instincts. Men shaving. You know, deep down in the pit of your soul, you wish you could crouch in the grass with flies biting your face. Afraid to move for fear of alerting the beasts. Covering yourself with yak urine to thwart your spell. Then, a beast draws close. You bounce, bringing your battle axe at its skull. Man and animal at that moment. One and the same in a terrible beauty. Then you drag the carcass back to town and celebrate by eating its heart. Some people, they only do this once in a lifetime. I do this every day, and so can you. All it takes is some positive thinking. Just attend my Unleash the Norse Within weekend. When you are finished, you will say, I am a god. Nobody can stop me. I crush my enemies and dance on their funeral pyres. This is very helpful for living in suburbia, Amy, and I should know.
I really don't understand how.
Oh, it's very helpful. Maybe a neighbor is tossing his leaf clippings on your lawn, or looking at your woman, or harboring desires regarding your longboat. You enslave his children, set his house on fire, he shall not bother you again.
It must be nice to have you as a neighbor, not.
I live in no place longer than needed to fulfill my goals. Taking slaves, valuables, and food. Goal setting is very important, Amy, not just in football.
You're very weird and creeping me out a bit, but whatever. No weirder than anything else. So, what do you think of Vice City?
I like it very much. Your women here are prepared for battle. They are large, not like those scrawny things to the north. A woman who eats well provides for her man. You cannot set sail for robbing and pillaging on an empty stomach. It's like the story of the parson's wife and the troll.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Great Carl Erson. We mainlanders have no historical perspective. Read the runes. It's all right there. Talk to a grandparent. But no, he casts people out like rubbish. Wisdom is not to be treated so lightly. sat with him day and night, absorbing his wisdom, learning about the demons and where the wickedness resides in men's hearts. And as his time drew near, I built a large pyre, burnt him and his wife while communing with Odin's spirit.
Careful, Musty Pines is a sponsor of the show. Ooh, Grody, what are you doing?
I'm just adjusting myself, she-devil. Wearing these animal hides does get a bit itchy.
Okay. You never answered my question. What do you think of Vice City?
Your land and people have a lot in common with mine. See, we too fled our homes due to lack of food, overpopulation, and the bitter cold. And, mind ye, starting out to raid passing ships is fine, but we needed a new land to have our way with. Granted, we roll and sail to an area, land in force, and burn down a local monastery or village, whereas you come in, destroy all the creatures, and sew plastic versions of them. You did a fine job pillaging these lands, but you should have done something about Canada.
Wait a minute there, Buster. My mother's half Canadian.
Oh, what are you going to do, wench? Sweep the ice furiously at me? Ha! Socialized medicine? Nah, you did it all wrong. Dickhead. You should have continued to the north and finished things off. I talk about this in me motivational learning tapes. That and beware the magpie, which is the devil. Evil reigneth when darkness falls.
Are you married? You seem like a tough character to live with.
Aye, my wife Helga. What a hag.
This show is not sexist, whatever certain bearded women might say. Women are people too. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't talk that way.
Ah, go live in a chimney, you troll. You 20th century women are all the same. And me hag Helga, she felt prettier uppity ways. She says to me, Thor, I ain't having no mead no more. I'm going to meetings. See? That's your problem. As soon as you sort something out, you have to go preaching from the rooftops to everyone else how to live, not pillage nor plunder no more, but live in boxes. Then she says, Thor, I'm getting this stomach staple. I look fat. Now fit of 2 yak skins, where previously it was only 1. I say, wench, don't come crying to me when we're in a longboat crossing the straits for 2 moons. You're all skin and bones. A man needs something to grab onto. I ain't her fault. A cursed pixie goblin daughter.
Pixie goblin? What kind of weird ancient nonsense are you talking about? Now, Thor, I've got to ask you, how old are you?
I am as old as the fjords, as young as a newborn lamb.
Are you sure?
Chess, enough aftershave to drown a household pet, but I still cannot get a woman. I tell them you are an ignorant fool. Without a symbol of power and fertility around your neck, what kind of woman is going to respect you? That is why I have teamed up with Medallion Man, the shop for Medallion Ladies. Medallion Man caters to all levels of masculinity, whether strong, silent type, a medallion the size of a hubcap will say everything that needs to be said. Even singing medallions for the Casanova, who knows music is the food of love. Model trains, dollhouses, diapers, whatever you...
Where are we?